Kenny, thank you so much for meeting me here today at Exit Zero Ministry. I've been looking so forward to coming here today, learning all about this great ministry they have here. We're right across Louisville, Kentucky, right? Mm-hmm. Right across the bridge at Exit Zero. Now, can you tell us, Kenny, how long have you been coming here to Exit Zero?
I've been coming here for about 4 weeks now.
Okay.
And I've been here in Jeffersonville for about 5 weeks.
For about 5 weeks. Now, what kind of different services and different things do they do here at Exit Zero?
Well, it's an outreach program, so of course they look to outreaching to the homeless to give them some of the basic necessities that they need. We have a retrofitted ambulance called Grace, which is
that's cool.
Yeah, it's equipped to have a bunch of hygiene supplies on it. There are some mats that are actually woven using the grocery bags, which
I've seen people do
volunteers
that before.
have
That's kinda
woven
cool.
them together.
Yeah.
There are also 3 feedings each week, 2 of which include church services. On Friday, we have a Bible study. And then on Sunday, we have a church service which is broadcast over television from one of Paul's friends who runs the program here.
Okay.
And then on Wednesday nights, we have just a regular feeding. And every other week, Paul brings out a trailer that has 2 showers in it and a washer and dryer so that people can get a shower and wash their clothes.
Awesome. Tell us about your experience here at Exit Zero. Can you tell us what it means to you to come down here?
For me, it is an eye-opening experience. I started off, actually, I was on my way to Washington State, and I got stopped here by local law enforcement. And they weren't stopping me to arrest me or check my ID or anything. They were stopping me to tell me about Exit Zero. And so after talking to some of the volunteers and some of the other homeless people in the area, they actually gave me the right place and time to come over here and meet them. So I made my way here, and my first interaction with Paul was about like what you would expect. You know, hey, how you doing? This is my story, and this is what I was planning on doing. And he's like, well, let's get you hooked up with somebody that can probably do you better than what you've been planning on doing, which for me, it was hitchhiking across the country.
Okay.
So he hooked me up with a representative at the VA, and within a week, actually within just a few days, I had already talked to a caseworker, and they already started the process of getting me involved over at the VA.
Within a few days. Wow. So this ministry, not only does it feed folks and does the showers, and then it takes the vehicle out to the encampments to help folks around the area, but they actually have caseworkers and they have people to help everybody.
And Paul also works with all the other outreach programs that are both in Louisville and here in the Jeffersonville area.
What would you say a typical volunteer, or I like to call it serving, because we're called to serve one another, right? To love one another and serve one another. How does it feel to you when you get to see all of these different volunteers serving others in need?
It's gratifying, because you look at the news and you observe the world with your own eyes, and you don't see people helping. You see the problems, but you don't see the helpers.
And they're out there everywhere, right?
Right, and they're the unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Since I've been here, a lot of interesting things have happened to me directly, and with my interactions with some of the other homeless people, positive things have happened to them just from being near me.
Yeah. I can sense that about you.
From my first day here in Jeffersonville, I was at an underpass, under 65, and I was just resting, getting out of the sun, drinking some water, and not more than a couple hours sitting underneath that underpass, somebody came up to me and gave me a pair of shoes and a jacket and some food. He didn't even ask if I was homeless. He could tell just by looking at me from all the stuff that I was carrying with me, and I'm under an overpass. That it continued on, not just from this person, but everybody I interacted with. They were giving me water, they were giving me food, they were making sure I was taken care of. And when I'm hanging around some of the other homeless people, it's like there was a college out here just last week. They were over at the Big Four Park, and they were having, I don't know, a fraternity celebration or whatever, and they had a lot of food left over by the time everybody scattered, and they gave it to us. And so we took it and we went out and we started feeding other people.
Yeah.
There
great.
was another homeless person who plays guitar,
Yeah.
and a lot of people up around the Big Four Bridge know him. Well, about a week or so ago, he had his amp and guitar stolen.
Oh no.
And he and I was talking at the Big Four Park one night, and a guy from one of the tattoo parlors over in Louisville was riding by and is like, "Oh, well, how come you're not playing?" And he tells him the story. He gives him a brand new Yamaha acoustic guitar.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love it. I love to hear stories about how people come together and unselfishly serving and helping others. A guitar, some people might think, well, that's not a necessity, but it is. I mean, and I'm sure playing music feeds the soul, right, of the person playing, but also the people that get to listen to that. So that guitar at that time, I'm sure, was priceless
Right.
for him. For his to be being stolen and then somebody giving him one, that's awesome. I love to hear those stories of people serving. Thank you so much, Kenny, for your time. I appreciate it
My
very
pleasure.
much. Thank you.